Oh, we could fly.
Welcome to this new season of the Have a Cup of Jahani podcast. So, I want to title this new season that I'm embarking on with I'm Growing. So, this is going to be the season of growth, and that's what I'm going to share with you throughout the season. So, I thank you for coming over here and sitting with me, and I hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Have a Cup of Johnny podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something a little bit more mystical, and that is how dreams and divination can act as a spiritual connection to the ones we've lost. This is something I've experienced firsthand, and I can't wait to share it with you all. Are you ready? Of course you are. Let's go. When I lost my pets, John and Lento, I started noticing that they would show up in my dreams. And at first, I didn't pay no mind to it. But I come from a family that, according to my grandmother, she was the one that raised me, that sees people before they die. And she used to say that it was a way for the spirit to say their goodbyes before it leaves their body. That's how she explained it to me growing up. And she will often talk about these stories. And to my sister and well, I don't know for my sister, but for me, I always kind of didn't pay too much attention to it just because I was more like, that's just grandma, mama being mama, thought she was more on the superstitious side than was normal and things of that nature. And I just didn't give it too much weight to it. Here I am as an adult now telling you that I've experienced it firsthand. So yeah, maybe I should have listened, huh? So when it happened to me, it was the same thing. Like, I just think it's normal. It's just me thinking about my pets, right? And things of that nature. And it's nothing to worry about. Just thought they were random memories that just came into my mind as I fell asleep. But I kept a journal because I like to do these experimentation between what is science, what is mystical. Because there should be an explanation for everything. There should be. And I was like, let me jot down the thought that I had before going to bed to see how it relates to the dreams I may have. Because I started thinking maybe that was the last thought that I went to bed with. It was John. And that's why then he showed up in my dream and things of that nature, because that happens, right? After looking at my journal, I found out that it was like unrelated. Everything that was on my mind before going to bed was unrelated. Now, I did found something while doing that. And that is that to journal before going to sleep can relieve myself of those thoughts and not have those thoughts populate and perk up, especially unresolved things, populate and perk up at 2, 3 in the morning and wake me up. So I got that out of that. So if you're like that, if you're like me, have a notebook next to you in bed, or do your notes app on your phone or whatever other app on your phone. So that way you can write down your thoughts, your emotions, and all of that before going to bed and relieve yourself of that. But when it comes to seeing Lento, I really just thought that it was just random. And then I found out that it wasn't. With John, it was weird because he went from being super okay to not being okay. And it was just so sudden, his decline. And then he went back and forth to the vet, and we will see just a little bit of progress. But then once they get to a certain age and they're so old that anything like the kidneys get shot or anything, and this just goes down really fast. I'm like, why am I seeing John in my dreams? Why am I seeing him like just show up and show me a path or something like that? I think that's what the dream was. Because he was healthy at that time. Well, I thought he was healthy at that time. And it was just, I didn't think nothing of it. But now thinking back about it, now I know that it was kind of like his way of saying, I'm about to go, or, I'm going to go. Now I understand that. And with Lento, I remember seeing him, but I didn't think nothing of it either. And that's what's so weird. It's like I need to do better at paying more attention to my dreams because I get so bogged down with everything else that I just don't think about that or don't put too much weight on it. Kind of like how I did as a child with my grandmother. But with Lento, it was something similar as well. He will peek from a place and then he will go away and then peek and look at me. And I knew it was him because while I have 3 black cats, Lento's face is was round and his eyes very round. So he is shaped completely different. So he will peek his head from the shadows and look at me and then walk away. And it was kind of like similar to what John was doing. And when I saw him in my dreams, and I don't know if that is kind of like their way of saying, I'm about to go. This is me going away. And I don't know. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if other people have had like these dreams per se, but many cultures and spiritual traditions believe that dreams are a way of our loved ones, whether they're humans or pets, to kind of communicate with us. And some of these cultures are like a way to communicate with us after they passed. But from what my grandma told me growing up was that sometimes the spirit will detach itself and come see you before it leaves their body while they're still alive. And I think that's what happened with John and Lento. Y'all are probably thinking like I'm so crazy. Oh God, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm telling you, that's what happened. That's what happened. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You see, even me talking about it, like I don't even believe myself, and I'm trying to find more logical explanation of why I would have these dreams. And even I ask my husband sometimes, I'm like, did you put something on TV? Was there something that I was listening to, because he stays awake longer than I do. And sometimes I ask him that, especially when my dreams are particularly weird and very realistic. But, right? I think insight into what we don't know not only comes through dreams, but also comes through divination. So yesterday was my very sad day of coping with losing my cat Lento. And I just like, oh my God, I force myself to do things just because I need to do those things. And I can't afford to be a hermit and then just not come out, even though that's exactly what I want to do. Yesterday was just so tough. And I really just wanted to be underneath my bed, underneath the sheets, and not come out. And I remember I came to my room after I was done and I cleansed the space and I went to my tarot card deck and I demanded that they tell me where my Lento is right now. And I was just, I was so angry. I was so like, just so over it. I'm like, 2024 has got to finish already. And I pulled the 10 of cups. And the first thing that I see is the rainbow. And I started crying because it was almost like it was showing me that he is on that rainbow bridge. Then you see the happy family looking at the rainbow and everything. And I know that where he's at, he's happy. I know that he's not in pain. I know that he's with family. I'm sure he's with John and Mama. on the Rainbow Bridge, just having a ball. And sometimes I think that that's how they try to say goodbye to me, John and Lento, before they actually left. And perhaps these dreams are a reminder that love doesn't just disappear when somebody leaves the world. It continues on. And sometimes dreams are just the space where that love shows up again. And it reminds you that it's there. Who knows? Who knows? But dreams and the tarot cards, just they don't replace the grief, right? I think they're more of a source of comfort for me. They remind me that while I may not have John and Lento here in the physical sense, they're still with me in other ways. That realization makes the heavy weight of the loss a little bit lighter. And if you ever had a dream about someone you've lost, don't be like me. Don't dismiss it as just a dream. It might be their way of saying hello, of letting you know that they're about to go. Perhaps they're saying goodbye. If they have passed on, perhaps they're letting you know that they're still around. And if you haven't had those dreams, maybe you can set an intention before bed to be open to receiving them, if that is something that you want to receive. But I hope this episode encouraged you to take a look at your dreams a little differently and to journal before bed for sure, and after if you have those weird dreams. Whether you believe in the spiritual connection or not, there's no denying that there's comfort that can come from seeing our loved ones that we lost in our dreams. And that knowing that before we lost them, they came to us in a dream. I think there's a lot of comfort in that. And for sure, if you're like me and you have a tarot deck, I know I found comfort yesterday looking at that. I didn't know what I was going to pull, but I pulled that, and it for sure helped me to feel more at ease with the knowledge that Lento has found the Rainbow Bridge and was having fun. So thanks for tuning in today, and I'll catch you on the next episode next week on Have a Cup of Johnny podcast. See you next time. Bye.
Oh, we could fly.
Thank you so much for listening. I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment, do a rating if you can on the podcast, share it with somebody you love, but most importantly, come back. See you next time. Bye.